Ooh.
Welcome to the Pearl Hale Show. I'm so excited. Thank you for joining me tonight. We're talking about stop, look, and listen. These are things that life is showing you. And I want you to, if you're tuning in tonight, I want you to click and subscribe on YouTube, watch us, like us, make comments. We're here to talk to you tonight, and our topic tonight is stop, look, and listen, a guide to changing your future. You know, a lot of times God comes to us in this season to help us by things that we don't see. So he wants us to stop. And I'm going to start off with the quote of the night from none other than Maya Angelou, who says, I can be changed by what happens to me, but I refuse to be reduced by it. And we thank you so much for watching. Again, click and subscribe, like and share, and please make comments. We want to come to help you shift, change, and transform. You're watching the Pearl Hale Show, Transformational Speaks. I'm your host, Pearl Hale, and we're going to get started on tonight. Stop. Sometimes we have to break the momentum of what's going on around us to see you can't change the direction you never pause to question. So if things keep reoccurring in my life, if I don't stop and look at those things, then how am I going to help them from reoccurring? I have to name and see what pace I'm going, which brings us to our first poll question. I want to ask you something. If nothing changed for you in 5 years, would that be acceptable to you? I want to hear from you. Click one for yes, two for no. If nothing changed for you in 5 years, would that be acceptable to you? See, we have to look at what is going on in our lives. We have to stop sometime out of all the traffic, all the things that go on around us. We have to stop and figure out what is going on with these reoccurring issues that keep happening in our lives. And so we need to stop and question things. If nothing changed in 5 years, would that be acceptable to you? If you stayed in the same place, if you stayed around the same people, you're stuck in the same place, is that acceptable for you? I want to hear from you. Hit me up in the chats and let us know what you think. One for yes, two for no. And we're going to keep moving. We're going to keep moving. Now, there comes a time in your life where you also need to look. What, give yourself an honest look. What does life keep showing me? Why am I running into the same movie, same characters? Is it possible that you're outgrowing some things? Which rooms take your energy and which give you energy? What is happening in your life, in your surroundings? See, when you stay around things that drain you, you have to look at that. Is it in alignment with my purpose? Is it going to help me get to the next place I need to go? So I have to look at that. Am I, I'm a life transformational coach, and I most certainly have to deal with a number of personalities, differences in personalities, different situations come up. However, I have to recognize, am I being effective or is certain places and certain things just toxic. And I'm trying to justify it because I am a life transformational coach and because I help people in tough spaces. However, some situations can be toxic. Some situations, am I really being helpful or is it really draining? Is it going to come to a solution or do I have to look at it as you have to step away and you have to see, is this lining up with your purpose? Are you stopping to see if things are lining up with your purpose? Or are you so interested in proving a point that I'm strong, that I can handle this, that I can handle this? So you stay in toxicity or stay around toxic people who are not pouring into you and not feeding you, but you're staying around negativity, which is something that you have to question. And I don't care what situation it is, you have to stop and look. Is this negative or is this positive? Um, what keeps repeating itself? Am I going to the same through the same movie, the same situations? I have to look at that. Is this a repeating pattern in my life? I'm so glad you're joining us tonight. You're watching the Pearl Hale Show Transformational Speaks. Thank you for joining us. We had a poll question for you. We want to know if nothing changed for you in 5 years, would that be acceptable to you? And we want to hear from you. Hit us up in the chat, one for yes, two for no. You're watching the Pearl Hale Show Transformational Speaks. And we're up to look. And when you look at certain things, what does it keep showing you? Does it show you I need to detour? I need to stop giving people the benefit of the doubt. I need to stop being a nicey poo and saying, oh, forgive and forget, which you should forgive. But you should never be around toxicity because toxicity can arise to another level. If you're the only one trying to heal something, it's only one sided. Even as a transformational coach, it has to be two sided. If it's not a two-sided uh, effort, then you have to look at that. You have to look at it and say, this is not a two-sided effort. So I need to make some changes. I can't keep saying, well, um, thank you for watching, hitting us up in the chat. If nothing happened, thank you so much, Miss Epps. Thank all of you for commenting. No, that's right. That's the whole point. If nothing changed in 5 years, for most of us, that's not acceptable. So that's why we need to look at things that are taking away from our progress, things that are not helping us get to where God wants us to go, things that are stopping us, things that are repeating in our lives. You don't cut off negativity quickly. You keep giving people the benefit of the doubt. Yes, you want to be forgiving. Yes, you want to be kind, but there comes a time where you have to keep your distance as well. And there comes a time when you have to shift and say, is this really part of my purpose or am I wasting time? Is it part of my purpose or I'm just wasting time with people who are not going in the same direction, with people where we're not in alignment or in sync um, with seeing things or seeing the world the same way? It's always good to have differences of opinion around you for balance, but is it negative or childish or just plain out foolishness? Those things you have to keep at a minimum and limit out of your life. You have to look at that. And you can't blame other people. You have to deal with you. You have to deal with where God is taking you. You have to become more mature. Excuse me. You have to become more mature. You have to recognize that when you are not being received in a place, it's not the people. Sometimes it's God telling you, I'm shifting you. I'm letting you recognize something, that you are bigger than that. And the more you keep trying to stay small, thinking you're proving a point or trying to be nice about a situation, you're being stagnant and you're blocking your progress with the people that I've assigned for you to help, the people that you're assigned to help grow. You're not going to get to those people staying stagnant. Thanks for watching the Pearl Hale Show. I want to hear from you. Thanks for your comments. A lot of you are saying, no, it's not acceptable. It's not acceptable. You're right, because you've stopped. That's our first point. Second, you're looked. You've looked and you've said, okay, this pattern is not good. This situation is not good. And so I can't afford to go another year doing the same thing. I have to look at this and change. I have to look at certain situations and say, okay, I have to move on quicker. So where you were slow about it, where you stopped, and then you looked and said, wow, this pattern, every time I'm slow about shifting, then that has to change. I need to get quicker. Listen, don't touch that dial. We thank you for watching the Pearl Hale Show. We're talking about stop, look, and listen. And girl, we have a show for you tonight. We come to help you. My name is Pearl Hale. I'm a life transformational coach, life transformational speaker. God is often in the transformation, and He's trying to get us to shift, change, and transformation. Why are we still stuck? Why don't we stop? Why don't we look? Why don't we listen? We're going to be back in a few moments. I have a few commercial breaks. We're going to be back in a moment. We're going to go to a commercial break and be back in a moment. Support the Pearl Hale Show with my book, Bruised to be Used. Thank you for watching.
Discover healing, purpose, and transformation with Pearl Hale's book, Bruised to be Used. You were meant to stay bruised. You were meant to be used. Purchase your copy today.
Thank you so much for watching the Pearl Hale Show, Transformational Speaks. We're talking about stop, looking, listen. And most of you on our poll, thank you. You said it's not acceptable if you were in the same place in the next 5 years. Well, I want you to share something with you. Sometimes we have to listen to our gut instinct, which this is our last point. Listen. We have to listen to our gut instinct. We have to get rid of the noise. When we pay attention to something, attention is the first act of change. When you pay attention to something, if you pay attention to you're not getting enough rest, if you recognize it, you can start getting enough rest. But if I don't recognize that I need to get enough rest, that I can't change it. So I need to listen to my instincts and be honest. Let people be honest with you. You have to listen. Sometimes God sends people to us to help us recognize things. We can't just keep saying, it's my way or the highway, or I'm just like this, and take it or leave it. And you keep hitting roadblocks and bumps. You keep not progressing because you have a certain personality trait that hinders you from getting along with people. Um, you won't see that sometimes you're offensive. So if you don't listen to what God is trying to show you and just say, well, I'm this way and that's it. I'm not going to change. Nobody can change me. You're not listening to the roadblocks that's stopping you from moving ahead or getting forward. Everything else flows when you recognize what you have to change. So I'm going to give you a few points and then we're going to be out of here. I thank you so much for watching the Pearl Hale Show. Life changes equals life transformation, and God has come to shift and change our lives. And so we're going to give you some things. Number one, you need to pause at least once a day. Write one thing that you keep avoiding. And ooh, I know it's hard. But write one thing you keep avoiding because see, when you stop avoiding something, it could be a hard bump. It could be something that's really hard. But when you stop avoiding it and face it head on, you can look at it. See, you've stopped avoiding it. Now you're looking at it, right? Now you can act on it. And something that you can do to act on it is change one habit. One thing that you haven't looked at, change one habit and start doing that different. So when you stayed longer in any kind of relationship, or just a friendship that you know was toxic, whatever, you start shifting. Okay, if it's toxic, if it's not helping me grow, I'm going to make some changes. I'm going to if I have to ease my way out of the lion's mouth, as they say, I'm going to ease my way away from this circle. You stopped, you looking now because you're recognizing, okay, I have to make a change because this is draining me. These people are not helping me grow as a person. I'm spending and wasting a lot of times, and I got news to tell you. Life is short. We never know what can happen, what come up. I was someplace. I took a friend of mine to an appointment, and these two ladies, they were telling me that one of them found out that they had um, a certain illness. They was just talking, and she kept feeling something in a certain area, and that turned out to be another issue, another problem, where they're just talking. So anything can happen, is my point. And so when you don't stop and you don't listen and you build up stuff and you keep tolerating things that no longer fit you, it's not going to help you grow. So you want to change that habit. So you've looked at it. Now you want to listen and see, what is this showing me? Review it quarterly to see, have I made progress? Listen, I'm loving y'all. I want you in this season to stop. Some things ain't working. Sometimes you want to stay to prove a point. Guess what? It's time to move on. Uh, is it helping you grow? Do you feel that that is where God have you in this season? Is that where you're getting fed in this season? If not, stop. Then look. And do I want to be in this same situation for the next 5 years? Do I want change or do I want to accept where I am? So that's where I have the look. And finally, I've listened. I'm listening because I'm making change. And even though it's small, I'm progressing. Listen, it was nice hanging out with y'all tonight. I'm Pearl Hale from the Pearl Hale Show. And I want you to like, click, and subscribe. We appreciate you being here tonight. And I'm going to leave you with this one quote. Last quote. Our doubts are trailers and make us lose the good we often might win by fearing to attempt. Stop doubting, stop procrastinating, and attempt to do something different. Attempt to do it God's way. Attempt to change the way you see things. Stop trying to change other people. Look at God trying to make changes in you. I'm Pearl Hale, and that's it for the Pearl Hale Show. I'm out of here. I'll see you next time. Thank you so much for watching the Pearl Hale Show. Good night.
Ooh, passion, spiritual inside, yeah.